So another little yap. Let me see if I can prop up my phone. Whatever. Um, I saw this one Instagram post. It was like working at a warehouse made me understand I don't believe in myself, and it was something along the lines of like, he's putting in all this effort at the warehouse, right? Working 12-hour shifts, and like if he's dog tired, he's still gonna show up and work because he's getting paid, and he's putting in all this effort into the job. But then when it came to like he has a day off or a couple of days off and he can have time to himself and put effort into himself like training or starting a business, he doesn't do it. But again, when it comes to the job and he has to work hard and dedicate himself to it, he's gonna do it. So it shows he has the discipline or like the effort, the grit to put in work when it comes to something outside of his own passions and dreams. But then when it comes to his passions and dreams, he doesn't have the discipline and the work ethic. And it reminds me a lot of myself. When it comes to certain jobs, I'm always putting in a lot of effort into it, and I'm always like wanting to be the hardest worker in the room and stuff. like at like when I first started working my first ever job aside from the workshop at Duckman Mechanical, I wasn't that mindset. Like, I gotta be the hardest worker there. I gotta show up every day and work as long as I possibly can and all this and that. And I was doing that for a good little bit. And then I realized, during that time, it's like I should put in effort into my own dreams and passions. And then I quit that job and I didn't end up putting any effort into my own dreams and passions because one, I was lazy, and two, I didn't believe in myself. Then when it came to CF, I was putting in work, I was putting in effort, and I was, walking around the gym floor, and I wasn't talking to people because I didn't understand how to be a personal trainer on the gym because I wasn't trained properly. But, you know, whatever. I was putting in effort in there. But then when it came to my own business of, selling online coaching or just coaching people one-on-one privately, I didn't put in that much effort into it. And then Amped. Oh, I didn't put that much effort into Cutco either, because Cutco was the next runner-up. But it was because I didn't believe in myself. That's why I didn't put in effort into Cutco. I was selling these knives, but I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to speak to these people who I was trying to sell these knives to, and I wasn't transparent enough, saying like, hey, I'm selling these knives. You don't have to buy anything, of course. I'm just practicing the script so I can go door to door knocking. And again, like I said, you don't have to buy anything. I get paid $20 just to do the presentation, make the appointment. You just have to text them just to confirm that I'm actually doing it and I'm not scamming these people out of money. And you might actually see a product you might like because they got a lot of cool products, which is why I'm doing it, because it's this easy thing to sell if of course you're interested. But something like that. But I just didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that belief in myself that I could do this, I could sell this thing. And then again, now Amped comes into play. And when I was in Amped, I was biking because I was staying at my friend's house and or my friend's apartment, and I didn't have a vehicle. So I would bike 2 miles there and back, so 4-mile round trip, to the gym, and I would be in the gym for 11 or 12 hours straight, 5 to 6 days a week. I was in there, and I was only paid off commission, so I didn't make much money because I didn't have that many clients. But I was slowly racking them up, and I was putting in effort in there, a lot of effort, actually, way more effort than the previous jobs, because again, I was biking, and then I'd be talking to multiple people, and I'd be getting rejected, or sometimes I'd have a good conversation with them, get them booked for an appointment, and then at the end of the appointment, they didn't want to sign up, and I didn't get paid at all with the appointment. Unlike CF, at CF, I'd get paid for the appointment. I was paid hourly no matter what, almost no matter what. And then I was paid commissionly once I was training someone. But at AMP, I was only paid if I was training someone. If I was doing a free session, I wasn't getting paid for that free session, unlike CF. But, anyways, I wasn't getting paid much, and I was working myself like a dog. Again, biking there, talking to people, and not getting paid. And then, on my break, I'd eat my meal prep because I'd meal prep. And then I'd train, and then I'd come back to work because I would stay in there. It was 4 hours on, and I think 3 hours off, and then 4 hours back on. So, dude, and I loved it. I did genuinely love it. The only issue was I wasn't getting paid much, and that desperation of wanting to get paid so bad led me to make some horrible decisions. and because I was willing to put in effort on anything else but myself. So I was putting in effort at AMP, which was kind of myself, but still I was working for AMP more than I was working for myself. Because AMP would take 70% of my commission. I'd only get 30% of whatever the client was paying, and then the other 30% I think would go to my manager, and then the other 40% would go to the gym. If I think that's how the split would work. Where was I going with this? I was putting effort into AMP, and that desperation of wanting to get money, but not also having the belief in myself to where I'm like, hey, I can make the money myself on my own business and my own private coaching. I made some harsh decisions that messed me up. Like, I keep saying and I hate that. I wish I'm working on it where I can talk in a nice flow, and I won't have to say and have pauses. But at AMP, I did it again. Whatever. Let's ignore it. I met this guy Alejandro, and Alejandro was a solar guy, and so he was making good money with solar, and I met him because I was training in the gym, and I was using the Betterflies, which is a cable attachment, really cool cable attachment. And he saw me using it. He's like, that looks cool. And we were talking, and he was like, oh, I should, you're a trainer here, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm a trainer. He's like, well, let's work together. I have 2 months until I leave Florida, and I want to be in the best shape before I leave Florida. And so we talk, and I messed up where instead of getting him to sign up to the gym, I had him sign up through me. And I should have just signed him up to the gym. But again, the desperation for money was like, let me keep all this money to myself and have all these struggles where I'm dodging management trying to train him at the gym, because I can't train him at the gym unless he's signing up as a client, And so I'm going through all these loopholes to try to dodge management and everything, try to train him, and it's hard, it's difficult. And again, I should have just had him sign up to the gym, but because I was so desperate for the money, I had him sign up with me. And I was thinking about it too before I had him sign up with me. I was like, oh, I should have him sign up to the gym because it's going to be all these loopholes and hurdles. But the gym only has 2 contracts, or 3, but we're going to talk about the first 2. There's a 6-month contract and a 12-month contract. Those 2 obviously don't work for him because he's only going to be here for 2 months. And so I had told him, for the 2 months, I'll train you for $400. But again, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't accept this offer. I shouldn't accept this offer because it's going to be hard to dodge management. And so then I remembered, oh, besides the 2 6 and 12-month contract, there's the buy 12 sessions in a pack. And buying 12 sessions in a pack is $600. And so when I offered him the $600 package, he was like, nah, man, we already agreed to the 400. And me being me, not having the confidence to, again, be like, well, I know we agreed to the 400, but I'm thinking about it, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to dodge management and train you and everything. And so it'd be better for you to just sign up to the gym and pay the $600 for those 12 sessions. And we're going to work with those 12 sessions, and I can schedule you, and it won't be a hassle because, again, it's not right for me to train you privately in the gym that I'm employed at. I'm going to get fired and everything. And so, again, desperation. And so we go to the grocery store, shopping and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's offered me a position at the solar job that he has. He's like, dude, you could work with me since you're telling me that the gym's not paying you well. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm going off on a tangent, but, I'm doing all this effort into, I got to work with here, I got to work here, and this and that. And I'm going through all this hard work for other people, other businesses, but I never work hard for myself. Because instead of working at the solar, I could just continue working at the gym, and then I can just, I'm working for myself technically when I'm working at the gym, because I'm building rapport, I'm building clientele there, and word of mouth, they're going to say like, hey, he's a great trainer, blah, 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 blah. And so eventually I could leave AMP and just work privately, but I didn't do that because I was desperate for money and not believing in myself. So I would work hard in other areas. I'm yapping a lot. It's been 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and this is good yap, but I'm thinking about how I need to shower and go to bed, and my cat peed on my bed, so I gotta clean this before it really settles into the thing. So this is a good yap. I got to get some some thoughts out of my head. And if you guys enjoyed this little yap, let me know. I'll go into more detail with the story and have a more linear storyline, because you know, this is me just rambling, getting my thoughts out there, and these are thoughts I've said multiple times, so that's why I also kind of want to stop the video, because it's like, oh, I've explained this story so many times, but I always explain it horribly, or at least I feel like I'm explaining it horribly. And so if you genuinely enjoyed me yapping like this and you want to hear, you know, again, a more detailed version and linear, comment, you know, so that way I can actually sit down and write and have a proper script instead of just me rambling, because right now I'm not very good at rambling. Like I said, eventually I'll be able to have like a nice flow. But I appreciate you if you watched this video all the way through, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your night.